Inside the Old Rotary Jail in Crawfordsville, Indiana, entire floors of iron cells sit on a massive wheel, designed so a single guard could rotate prisoners with the turn of a crank. A 19th century solution to overcrowding, efficient and ingenious. After spending a dark, stormy night inside these walls, I've started to wonder if the machinery isn't the only thing moving in here. We came to Crawfordsville to see a piece of history. But the deeper we went, the more we realized that some echoes from the past don't just fade away. They wait for the right moment to make themselves heard. Tonight, I'm taking you inside the walls of the Old Rotary Jail. We went in looking for answers. But what we found? Well, it's something you truly have to hear for yourself. Hello, friends. My name is Marcia, and this is Midwest Ghost Hunters, where we investigate the history and hauntings of some of the creepiest places in America. The Rotary Jail we see today is actually the third jail built for Montgomery County. The first, a small wooden structure, burned to the ground in 1827. Its replacement was a plain block building with a basement room locals referred to simply as the dungeon. It had a dirt floor, little light, and even less air. This was where the county sent the prisoners that no one wanted to think about. By 1882, the county decided it was time for something new, something modern. The result was a Rotary Jail, a design meant to hold more prisoners while requiring fewer guards. It was the first of its kind in the United States. 17 would eventually be built nationwide. Only 3 remain today. The jail stayed in operation until 1973, nearly a century of confinement, movement, and human stories locked inside iron and stone. One of the most infamous events in the jail's history was the execution of John Coffey in 1885. Convicted of murdering James and Elizabeth McMullen, Coffey was sentenced to hang in the jail yard on October 15th. 200 people gathered to witness it. When the trap door opened, the rope snapped. Coffey fell hard onto the dirt below. He was carried back up. The rope was reset. The trap door opened again, and again the rope broke, leaving Coffey splayed out on the dirt below. A third time he was carried back up to the gallows. This time, instead of dropping, he was slowly lowered. The rope held. After 12 agonizing minutes, John Coffey died. Needless to say, many believe that the spirit of John Coffey haunts the jail today. Others believe the spirit that haunts the jail is former Sheriff Harper, who locals say knew there were others involved in the murders, but allowed only Coffey to hang. In fact, Coffey had identified James Dennis as his co-conspirator, but a grand jury failed to indict him and no one else was ever charged. Our team arrived on a September night when the rain seemed determined to soak everything it touched. Thunder rolled in the distance, the kind of storm that seeps into your bones and makes every sound feel louder than it should. We brought our usual array of equipment, static cams, REM pods, motion lights. We pride ourselves on being prepared, but we showed up with 5 investigators and only 2 raincoats. Needless to say, we were drenched before the first camera was even level. Then the investigation officially began. Things started with a literal bang, and not the ghostly kind. Dawn had a run-in with a door that resulted in blood and some quick first aid. If you're looking for the glamour of professional ghost hunting, you're not going to find it here. Just some determined women, bandages, and the steady rhythm of a Hoosier thunderstorm. Not to mention the occasional train whistle. As the night continued, we captured things we couldn't easily explain. We seemed to make contact with Johnny, a spirit we first encountered at the Bryan Jail in Ohio. As we were trying to verify that it was him, we caught his unmistakable answer.
Johnny, are you here? Johnny, are you here?
Later in the evening, we felt that rush of adrenaline as we thought we had captured something unexplainable on video. A door opening by itself. But our excitement was short-lived as we realized the back door was also open and the wind was the likely culprit. We forged on through the night, capturing some interesting EVPs.
But thank you very much. But thank you very much.
I just heard a whistle. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm. Now Elizabeth said she hears whistles down here.
I just heard a whistle. During our last EVP session of the evening, we finally caught something that nearly stopped our hearts. The unmistakable sound of a gunshot. Loud, sharp, and close. For that brief first moment, fear set in. It wasn't fear of the paranormal, it was fear for our investigator outside. In that brief moment, all I could think was that something had gone very, very wrong. Had someone snuck up on her through the storm? Was there an altercation taking place outside? When we reached her and she said she'd heard nothing, I honestly didn't know what to think. It was so loud. The audio doesn't capture it the way it sounded in person, but standing there in the basement, it felt like the sound came from behind us, from inside the jail itself.
Really fast, all the wire Bluetooth keeps kicking in, and then it kicks back out. What was that?
That sounded like a gunshot.
I just heard something too, and through my headphones.
Behind you. What's back in there?
Bluetooth keeps kicking in, and then it kicks back out.
What was that?
That sounded like a gunshot. Anyone who has investigated long enough knows that rain can play tricks on sound. Water carries echoes. It blurs distance. But what we captured that night was clear, distinct. Where did the gunshot come from? Was it a residual sound? A memory being held by the stone walls of a 144-year-old jail? Is it a scene being acted out over and over and we were lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time? What about Johnny? Why would his name surface across different locations, different states? These are the questions that make us keep coming back, trying to understand what can't be understood. As long as the questions are out there, we'll keep investigating. The Rotary Jail in Crawfordsville stands because the community chose to preserve it. Not just the architecture, but the history, the innovation, the mistakes, and the lives that pass through its doors. If you ever find yourself in Crawfordsville, take the time to visit, walk the cells, listen. You may not see anything unusual, but you just might hear something that makes you pause. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and may the truth continue to reveal itself.